parts manager. I'm going to be going over all the boom audio side of it and all the parts. The big thing that Harley did with the stereos for Project Rushmore was they came out with two different things, two different boom boxes, the 4.3 and the 6.5. Basically what it is the 6.5 has navigation and Sirius built into it, so there's no adding a GPS or anything. It's all touch screen, color screen, right in the fairing. Where the other one is still Bluetooth compatible. It's just no touch screen, kind of a simplified version of it. Basically stage 1 and stage 2. And with that you have your fairing speakers, your tour pack speakers, you can do saddlebag lid speakers, now lower fairing speakers, which is something brand new as of a few years ago. Available for pretty much any touring bike. We can even actually add them to Road Kings. Harley doesn't really have a kit for it, but we have done it. So if you got a Road King, you're looking at a sound system, we can actually do saddlebag lid speakers and just put an iPod jack in the bag. It's a pretty slick setup that we've done. So the saddlebag lid speakers. Basically, I call it surround sound. You already got the speakers in the front, it adds it behind you, they're facing up. The great thing about the Harley speakers is not only are they waterproof and a very streamlined design being molded into the matching lids that you get with them, and they come color matched, but they're designed to deal with all the vibration and everything. And the one big advantage compared to all the aftermarket ones is they're armored. Most aftermarket saddlebag speakers, if you have a lot of stuff in your bag and you go to jam that lid shut, you're going to puncture the speaker itself and have to replace it. Harley realized that, and they actually come with an armor. On the back of this one, so you can see it a little better. On the back of these speakers is actually a hard shell right here that protects the speaker. So you can still jam this bag full of clothes, whatever you have, jam it shut and don't need to worry about it and doing any damage to it. And so for this being stage 1 boom audio, it's basically plug and play. You got the speakers in the front, we can add them in the rear, no amps required. Basically everything I went over. Handlebar mounted speakers. So this is something, the ones pictured here are Harley's brand new design. In the past, everything ran off of a headphone jack. These are Bluetooth now. The sound is incredible on them compared to the old style. The big advantage is there's a little tweeter right in the center of that speaker. So it allows you to not only get the sound out of them, but the clarity. And once again, they went Bluetooth. Instead of having to have that headphone jack and find a place to mount your phone on your tank, your bars, you can keep it in your pocket, you can shuffle through everything right on the bar itself. Just a lot slicker of design. The other thing about these is they now have them for your passenger. So if you have a Dyna, Street, Road King, Softail, you can do the front, and if you want to add them for your passenger, they actually mount to a detachable backrest, quick disconnect harness. So you can still get the luxury of a touring bike with a sound system, but still have that nice stripped down cruiser. Amplifiers. So this is basically the next step up. This is for the touring bikes. You buy the stage 1 boom audio speakers. The next step up is to add the amplifier to them, help push that volume. The stage 1 speakers basically help give you better clarity at louder volumes. The amp adds the extra volume to it, so you can really push that power. Bluetooth headsets. So this is something that Harley's brand new this year. Then you ever heard of Cena? It's a company that's been making the Bluetooth headsets for, 10, 15 years now? One of the biggest in the industry. They actually came together with Harley, so Harley now has its own. So it's proven technology. This allows you to link it to the bike, give the bike commands. If you want to just pair it to your phone, you can do that, talk on the phone while you're riding. A few different styles depending if you have a half helmet or a full face. And the other great thing about these, you can actually pair them helmet to helmet. So you got a Dyna, Street Glide, something that doesn't have a CV, and you want to talk to your friends while you're riding, you guys can all get these, pair them together and talk. I use a very similar setup for a long time now, and I'm actually going to be switching now that Harley has their own. Okay, stage 2 boom audio. Talked a little bit about stage 1. Stage 1 is the speakers. You can add the amp to them. 1 amp with stage 1 can do up to 4 speakers. That's what this bike has in it right here, the CVO Ultra. Because what it is one amp has 4 channels to it, so you're getting 1 channel per speaker. Stage 2 boom audio is the top of the line from Harley Davidson. For every set of speakers you have to have 1 amplifier. The reason being is you're actually getting 2 channels per speaker. So 1 channel is doing the big speaker itself, and the other one is doing the small tweeter. The advantage to that is you not only get the deep bassy tones, but you get all the treble and everything out of the tweeter. So you have a much better array of volume. And it's an incredible sound compared to just having that 1 speaker there. And you can also go a lot louder without having any distortion to it. This is available just like the stage 1, front, rear, lowers. If you really wanted to, you could actually have a total of 8 speakers and 4 amps on these bikes, which is incredible. Same thing with the trikes. They do have trike body speakers, so if any of you have the tri-glides, you can actually add them to the body of it. It's a pretty slick setup. Same thing, actually there they are right there. Same thing, you can do them lowers, saddlebags, the whole 9 yards. The new high output charging system. So this is something that Harley had available in the catalogs for years. So if you were doing all these audio upgrades and extra lights, the bike couldn't keep up with it depending on how much you did. So they basically took this kit and it's now available in all of the bikes from the factory. It's now 50% more. Before the bikes could never charge at idle, now it'll fully charge at idle, no problem. You don't need to worry about having your bike slowly die if you're sitting in traffic for long periods of time. Sirius satellite radio. This comes standard on the CVOs. You can add it to any other touring model as long as it's got the 6.5 in there. It's plug and play, and it's a great setup. I just got Sirius XM this past year in my car, and I'm kind of spoiled with it. I absolutely love it. I don't even use it anymore. You can set your favorite stations and your favorite artists, and they'll pop right up as soon as they're on a station. Okay, boom audio 06 to 13. Before we do that, I'm actually going to jump in here and give you guys a few different demos just so you can hear what you're getting with the different stages. So this is a 2017 CVO Limited. This has got the boom audio speakers in the front and in the tour pack, and there is 1 amp under the fairing that's doing the whole bike. So you can hear the volume, but you notice at the very highest level, you get that distortion, okay? Now if I jump over to this is a 2017 CVO Street Glide. This has stage 2 boom audio, front and rear. So the big advantage you can see there is you notice you don't get that distortion at full volume, and you get a lot more bass out of it. So going back to back, it's a huge, huge difference. And with this setup, because there's the 4 speakers, you have 2 amps. You have one under the fairing that's powering the front speakers, and then you have another one that's in the left side saddlebag, and it's just tucked back right here. Now, if you were to add the lower fairing speakers, this got the hard lowers on them, you could actually lower them here, put them in here, and still do the stage 2 boom audio. We would just add the other amplifier in the other saddlebag. So, and Harley really thought ahead. You can still pop these bags off to clean them. There's just a quick disconnect in the back. It's a watertight fitting. So, 06 to 13. Little different setup, different bag style, different stereos, different fairings. Amplifiers, speakers, antennas. Very similar setup. They just have it limited to basically stage 1. They do offer a few pre-packaged kits for these years where they don't with the newer ones. So you can get one kit and it's going to have all the speakers and amps together, or you can piece it out over time like you do with the newer ones. Similar type setup though. You have the speakers in the front, the rear, and the saddlebags. The nice thing about these ones is for the just their stage 1, because it's all they have, they already have a separate tweeter in them. Now they're not getting a separate channel like they do with the newer style, but that tweeter helps give you a much better clarity at higher volumes. I have this on my bike with the amplifier just in the front, and I absolutely love it. They do what they have, the Ultra Boom Bagger Kit. This is if you have a tour pack. So it's one amp doing all 4 speakers, and to help give you that bass, it has these little ports right here. Like, you know, some people put subwoofers in their car and they have the box. Basically what this does is it turns your tour pack into a sub box. So it's just that bigger air cavity to help push those bass notes.
I wouldn't be that surprised.
Same thing, you can add them to the lower fairing speakers. You know, to me, I'm a big sound, music junkie. I like having a lot of speakers on there, especially going down the highway, between wind noise. If you got live pipes on there, the more speakers and amps, the better in my opinion. Same thing, they do have the saddlebag lid speakers, and we can still order them color matched from the factory. You don't need to send them out for paint or anything like that. Alright, hidden antennas. This is something I get a lot of questions about. These are available all the way up to the new 2017 models. This bike actually comes with it from the factory. I'm a big fan of these. It's just a lot cleaner of a setup instead of doing a relocation kit or getting one of the shorties. It is a powered antenna, so you get much better reception you would with one of the little stubbies that you get there, especially if you're in the mountains or in a very rural area. They do not perform as well as a traditional full-length whip-in antenna, but it is a great upgrade. Most people, they have no issues with these. The only time that you'll run into issue with one of the Harley hidden antennas is if you go with aftermarket sound systems. We found that a lot of stuff from like J&M and some of those manufacturers, for some reason, their amplifiers will interfere with them. So it's just one of those odd things. Same thing with some of the aftermarket LEDs. They put out a frequency that will interfere with these. But as long as you have all Harley products, it's great. It's all plug and play. You can basically unplug your existing antenna. This gets mounted in the fairing and essentially turns your whole fairing into a giant antenna. If this was 4 years ago, I'd tell you to stay away from them. But a few years ago, Harley redesigned it. The antennas used to be about this long inside there. You would get nothing for reception. Now the whips are about this long and goes the whole perimeter of your fairing. So you get much better reception out of it.